Dear viewers, many people, especially people who are married, would like to know how to beat one's wife. How does a husband beat his wife? He gives her disciplinary beating out of love. He loves her. The beating should be light and must make the wife feel her femininity and her husband's masculinity. Now, let's see how Islam teaches how to beat your wife. Well, during the break, we've got televisions and satellite feeds to now dozens of cable news channels and things going on, satellite feeds, you name it. And I was listening to a Fox News guest. We're trying to queue it up right now, but they're doing it on the fly in like 1 minute. Great crew. And the guest is admitting that, well, the border's totally collapsed and the Border Patrol and all the courts are overwhelmed and there's a 6-year backlog. And so basically the country's wide open. And so Trump's saying he's going to close the border just to hope that people think it's closed and don't come up here. But it's all just a PR stunt because the border's gone. And I don't blame the president for trying to make people think, hey, we're going to close it. But unless he calls out a couple 100,000 troops, and unless he puts major pressure on the Mexican government right now to stop this, it's done. The country is broken. You break somebody's border, it's over. And that's what I'm getting at here is the UN plan to break countries is to set up refugee centers, brainwash communists and socialists, tell them there's all this free crap, send them to our countries in Europe and the US, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, where the leftists pick them up on buses and take them and enroll them on welfare in sanctuary cities and get them jobs and then skim money off of them and money laundering. The Democratic Party is a criminal group. They have converted to the lowest person in the Democratic Party now. Almost all of them are conscious criminals. In Aliens, great movie, Paxton, what's that actor's full name? Paxton says, "Game over, man, game over. What do you mean they cut the power? They're animals, man. Game over." It's game over. Ultra elites always use giant populations of dumbed down people to control society and end middle classes. Middle classes are the enemy of elites. Just like firstborns were the enemies of ancient kings. They were always ordering them sacrificed. So that's what this comes down to. Speaking of that, there's a big article up on Infowars.com of a Qatari sociologist, he's called. So it's okay, I guess. It's a Paul Joseph Watson article. It was Rob Dew discovered this on YouTube, on Islamic Help Channel, talking about how you're supposed to beat your wife. And I've seen the articles where the Islamicists are saying, hey, you know what? It's getting a little bit embarrassing that Muslims are going to jail, breaking their wives' noses, killing them, doing all that. We haven't taken America and Europe over yet. So we've got to come out and say, oh, no, it's a loving slap. It's a loving hit. And so really what this is soft peddling what Islam does. But we're going to show you, if you're a TV viewer, radio listeners are lucky they don't have to see this. Just type in women acid attacks or women acid Islam. And you'll see their whole faces burn off in the most monstrous things you could ever imagine. Millions of women every decade or so are killed in Islam. Hell, the family gets around and stones their mothers, stones their daughters. They cut their noses off, burn their faces off, cut their clitorises off when they're born. And this is just standard Islam. You've got all these different members of Islam that have gotten into Congress, 2 of them. And you've got the other usual suspects that lead women's marches saying, this is Islam, we need to keep doing it. So think about that. And you've got the left out. I mean, I told you I was in Isla Mujeres, an island off Mexico, and there was a gay wedding at the hotel we were at. And I watched for 3 days the gay guys try to kiss the ass of all these Muslims that were there wearing burqas. And the women would go, get away from me, get away, get away. They would talk, they would just, and the gay guys would grovel, oh, God, you're a Muslim. Oh. But guaranteed those guys probably hate me because I'm a libertarian. I mean, it's like a fetish to love your destroyers, to love your usurpers, to love those which destroy Western civilization, all the egalitarian freedom we have that these very people take advantage of and they don't care. You never see the women on TV, the thousands of acid attacks. They have hundreds a month in London, women having their faces burned off, and boy, it's covered up real fast. So I'm going to have to narrate this report. We'll put it back on screen for me real quick. I want to give people the headline, because it's in Arabic. Muslim sociologist gives instructional video on how to reportedly beat your wife. Now, here's the deal. It's the Muslims, though, I got to give them credit, who are protesting drag queen story time and teaching 5-year-olds how to give blowjobs in England, because that's what they do. They have other adults come in from NAMBLA, basically, posing as drag queen story time and tell your kids, you know, that the boy can be a girl and a girl can be a boy. Why would you put up with anybody else doing that? So at least the Muslims have got that. You know, the left and modern West is so bad, maybe Islam is a liberator. Because here's the truth. I've never slapped my 2 wives around. And, but I'll tell you at the end of the day, kissing women's ass all day and doing whatever they want when they're getting grumpy moods or whatever only makes it worse. So in a sick, weird way, you know, there are some sick women like to be slapped around. I'm not into that. But see, what's sicker, teaching a kid, at 5-year-old kid how to have sex with other people? Is that worse, or slapping your wife around, which I'm against? But the point is the left totally defends this and covers up for it. But because men now are not ever standing up for themselves, now a lot of women are actually marrying Muslims. A lot of liberal women marry them, and they like it. In fact, statistically, liberal women are more into being slapped, beaten. I've got a buddy who's in politics. He likes to date leftist women, and he found that they're the ones that want to be degraded, slapped around, called a pig, all this. See, that's not women I'm into. I'm into my wife. But the point is that that's who these people are, and they love Islam. They love 50 Shades of Grey. So let's go ahead and play this sickening video. Dear viewers, many people, especially people who are married, would like to know how to beat one's wife. How does a husband beat his wife? He gives her disciplinary beating out of love. He loves her. The beating should be light and must make the wife feel her femininity and her husband's masculinity. Now, let's see how Islam teaches how to beat your wife. The husband must make his wife feel his strength. Why aren't you listening to me? How many times have I have to tell you? How many times do I have to tell you? So listen, do I have to tell you not to leave the house without permission? Hit pause there. Back it up, please. So again, he's here whitewashing this whole thing. And this was allowed on YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. And I say leave it up. This maniac has his rights. But I can't be on there. But this guy can sit there and do all this. Let's continue. You see a little bit of a rebuke. Obviously, she's starting to talk back. I told you not to leave the house. How many times did I tell you? See how he's beating. Back it up again. He's talking too fast. Again, I'm reading this here, ladies and gentlemen. Go back, hit play. See how the beating? I told you not to leave the house. The beating is light. Don't leave the house again. Do you understand? Yes or no? You see, brothers, this is the beating of Islam. But some people punch her or slap her in the face. That's not allowed. The Prophet Muhammad, look how merciful Islam is. The Prophet forbids striking the face. Slapping the face, hitting the head, punching the nose, all this is prohibited. The beating is for discipline. Don't leave the house again. Listen to what I'm saying. And then it goes on from there. It's all up on Infowars.com and Newswars.com. We've got more of this. Robert Barnes is coming up. Infowars.com, Newswars.com. Tomorrow's news today. And now, through the end of March, we are running the biggest special of this year. So far, it matches any other special we've ever done. So this is the best deal we've ever offered. Free shipping store-wide. That's free shipping store-wide. Free shipping store-wide. 50% off all the supplements. A bunch of other great deals as well. Double Patriot points. Instead of 5% on each order towards your next order, you get 10%. right there in your profile. Sign up for auto ship, cancel anytime for free, get an additional 10% off on your next order. That's 20% off. You add that to 50% off and store-wide free shipping. Most of these products are loss leaders. So I want to thank you all for supporting the InfoWar. I want to encourage you today to get great products at the 360 Win at InfoWarsStore.com. Voting with our feet, voting with our dollars, voting with our mouths, voting with our speech, voting with our action. Free shipping store-wide. That's free shipping store-wide. Free shipping store-wide at InfoWarsStore.com.